Hi everybody, and welcome to Once Upon a Scarf. This channel is all about extraordinary vintage scarves, how to find them, how to appreciate them, and how to wear them. Today's episode takes inspiration from an icon of modern art, How to Wear a Scarf Like Georgia O'Keeffe. I'm the author of two classic books on vintage fashion, Secondhand Chic and It's Vintage Darling. I'm a huge fan of the luxury, affordability, and incredible style of vintage silk squares. I'm so happy to share what I know with you. Let's get right into it. How to wear a scarf like Georgia O'Keeffe. Well, the answer is quite simple. Find a great white square scarf in cotton or linen or silk, about 33 inches square, give or take. Fold it into a strip, wrap around the head, knot twice in back, and leave the ends to hang over your shoulder. Pop on a cool flat-brimmed hat. But honestly, that doesn't even scratch the surface of how O'Keeffe wore her scarves, or when, or why. To understand that, we need to learn a little bit more about this artistic pathfinder, who she was, how her self-image developed, and how she worked that image to the max to amplify and sustain a legend of an independent woman artist going her own way in the deserts of New Mexico. Even as a girl, O'Keeffe felt herself as different, not interested in the usual feminine flirtations and wiles. Her high school yearbook described her in this way: a girl who would be different in habit, style, and dress, a girl who doesn't give a cent for men and boys, still less. As soon as she was on the loose in New York City as a young art student, she embraced a counterculture look for dress and behavior that emphasized smocks, loose-fitting garments, and black and white practicality. She was an excellent seamstress and took great care creating beautiful white shirts with exquisite pin tucks. Nothing flashy or obvious, but worked and worn with a sense of pride and distinction. As a young artist, she met Alfred Stieglitz, a towering figure in the art scene, a publisher, promoter, and gallerist, especially of photography as an art form. They began an affair that was to last his entire life. The older man acted as a mentor and gateway to the New York art scene, and the strikingly beautiful young woman was his muse. It was in Stieglitz's incredible black and white photographs that O'Keeffe's self-presentation to the world was born. This lush, elegant, black and white disposition became a kind of calling card, worn in real life in the form of wraps, kimono, suits, and dresses in stark, plain hues. Stieglitz photographed O'Keeffe as he believed artists to be: visionaries, seers, healers, in touch with other worlds and other planes of existence. When she began spending time in the deserts of New Mexico, this was the image she cultivated. Whenever a photographer made the pilgrimage to depict her, she self-presented as a high priestess of modernism. Was the monochrome look due to an aversion of color? We all know the answer. Absolutely not. She lived, dreamed, and romanced color to the degree that she would write to her friends about a particular shade of lavender or primrose yellow that captivated her easel that day. It's almost as though her person and her home environment became a stripped-down slate against which nature's palette could flourish without competition. Of course, there was also a practical aspect to the hat and scarf combo she came to favor out west. It had everything to do with the desert geography: wind, blistering sun, and dust. The hat served as shade and shelter under the searing glare. It was a look O'Keeffe adapted from Hispanic cowboys, who themselves brought this typical flat-brimmed hat from Spanish traditions of horsemanship. Despite their simplicity and practical nature, O'Keeffe's scarves were a kind of a headdress, as might be worn by an oracle or a nun. It was a self-conscious and highly disciplined choice. Her paintings were visions, unlike anything else done before or since. They, like the scarves, hold mysteries, meaning and drama tucked deep within the hollows and folds. To wear a scarf like Georgia O'Keeffe did takes a kind of boldness, hauteur, and grandness. as well as the elegant restraint in the dress below. Above all, it takes confidence, the conviction that the world needs this aesthetic because it somehow seems so right, even though many have never seen it before. If you've got the presence to channel a one-woman cult, go for it and watch its hypnotic effect unfold. And that's today's scarf story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please press the usual buttons if you'd like to see more.